Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nightshift Uncensored, episode 22. With my host, Carlos and Will.
And today we have Madison.
And Alyssa.
It's our number one guest.
It's the third time.
Third time's
Oh,
the
she's
charm.
a famous
We love
girl.
you.
She's a famous girl. She is.
Well, Alyssa didn't want to come on without Madison.
Not to make you a
I
host.
really didn't. That's my girl. I swear.
Scissor
I
sisters.
swear to God. I'm telling you.
Hello?
We're connected.
So I know in the last episode we were talking about couples and how they can sometimes be, we can watch them struggle with their coming into the night shift, coming into the club, so I did have to give a shout out because I had a couple last night that loves our podcast. And they were like, man, I listened to every episode. And it's this couple, they got 2 bottles of 1942 and they had 4 girls that spent like $10,000. So you know who you are. Shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
Keep watching.
Good people.
Yeah, so there's some that, that do come
You guys
in.
have a
and
fan
like,
base.
It's like hit or miss with the
Yeah.
couples, though. I feel
Yeah.
like you never know what you're going to get yourself into. Like, I mean, I feel like I've broken up a couple couples, and then, like, some of them, they love me. You know what I mean?
I love
Like,
couples. I feel like you
hit or
gotta
miss. You
go
never
for
know
the
what you're
girl.
going to get yourself into.
Yeah.
Sometimes the girl gets too jealous, and then sometimes it's like the girl loves you more than the guy loves you. You know what
It's
I
a
mean?
slippery slope.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is. It's scary getting into it, honestly.
Well, I wonder what it is. I mean, you have women that, or the dancers, they don't know the couple, right?
Right.
So they have no idea what they're walking into.
Right.
Are they friendly? Are they not? Did they walk in pissed off? So there's just so many dynamics.
what's
that
going
just
on in their
simply-
relationship?
Right. Then
They're
just-
fighting. If they like both want to be there, you know what I mean. You never know, honestly.
So it's one of those things, and then honestly, I think it's most of the girls have to adapt to that
Yeah.
that setting of the couple
Yeah.
dancing, and
You have to make sure you're paying attention to both of them. You know what I mean? Like last night, like this girl, like she loved me, but like the guy, like he was kind of standoffish. You know what I mean? Like so,
Like,
like I
let me
had to
tag
make sure
you
like
in.
I paid attention to him, and at the same time, I was like at a distance. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't like truly be like, oh, bring him over here. You know what I mean?
Like
She had to bring him over
Like
there.
a threesome. You gotta be the fluffer.
is.
You know what I
You
mean?
do.
You gotta make sure all the legs are in the right place and
Exactly.
everything's working out.
I guess
Exactly.
you had some experience with those, I guess.
I would say so, yeah.
yeah, you can't pay too much attention to the guy. I guess.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
girl gets
You really
jealous.
have to focus on the girl, to be honest, to make sure she's comfortable
Yeah.
for anything.
So if you're listening out there,
I could teach a course on this.
So, top 5 tips for a threesome. There you go.
Yeah.
number one.
The ultimate fluffer. You gotta make sure everyone's involved, you know?
Everyone's happy
number
at
two.
all times. There's so many
Girls come
things to it.
first, and
They
then,
do come first. You have to be a girl's girl
Yeah,
in
like
order
start
to
in the
get
cuck
them
chair,
together.
watch, and then we'll tag you in and just jump on in,
Number three?
Number 3.
Number 3, have a good time.
Yeah,
Smile.
you have to have smiles the entire time. If you're not
Yes.
smiling, they don't want you anymore.
No.
Number 4.
I watched a girl. She
Get
was
your
like,
Uber on the way home. I mean, get out of there. No cuddling.
run quickly, honestly.
Run quickly.
You never know. Oh God, I'm pretty sure I sent a couple home one time on accident. I asked him if he wanted. I was doing shots that night, and I asked him if he was doing shots, and I was like, "Do you want to do a shot?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I did a shot, and his girlfriend walked over, and he was like, "This is my girlfriend." I was like, "Oh, like she's so cute, da da da." Like I was trying to like bring her in, and she was like, "Yeah, this is my man." And like she was like pissed off, and I was like, okay. And then I saw him over at the side stage earlier, and he was like throwing money on her, and she like tapped him, and she's like, "We're leaving. Like we're not doing this anymore. Like you have to get the fuck out of here."
You're a really
So
good
you
team
never
player,
know.
though. Like, you're really
I
good.
try to
yeah.
be. I try to be.
Oh,
Touch
yeah.
you
So,
well,
Alyssa,
know.
it's your first time. Why don't you tell us what you do? Because, I think we all.
I do it
Everything.
all, you know.
Do it all.
I do it all. I'm a door girl. I do serving. I also do massages as of yesterday. And I also do shots. So, I mean, I literally do it all, you know. I'm 4 people at once, you know. I try what
Jack of
How
all
long you been in?
trades.
How long you been in the industry?
I started in January, so it just kind of went from there. I mean, like, I did smaller shit before. Like, I did cam with, like, my homegirls. I did, like, I don't know if you ever heard of, like, FetLife. I did FetLife. And like there's like a bunch of like people in Charlotte, like they hold like places where like
A fetish website.
they do, yeah, it's a fetish website. They do like crazy shit. Like there's like gangbangs and like hotels and like
you
there's
do
like,
those. You do those.
Yeah, you
I've done
pick
a
a different
few.
section. It's like BDSM
I
or
did a few here and there. I did Feet Finder, so I did a lot of like foot pics before I started here.
You do have
just
nice
like as a
toes.
server. I did
Is
a
that
lot.
do people actually pay you good money for
Oh,
foot pics?
100%.
Yeah.
I made really good money just online.
Like, what's really good money for foot pics?
I mean, like, I've made $1,000 off of a picture of my heel. You know what I mean? So, like, people
I
don't
mean, where,
really...
what's your heel doing?
Exactly.
Your heel
But,
better be doing something.
I mean, there's been times where I've been on cam and girls are like, I mean, like, people will be like, put your, like, foot in her mouth and, like, she'll, like, finger you. And, like, situations like that. Like, just a lot of, like,
Okay.
legs going everywhere. You know what I mean?
ultimate fluffer. That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I
saying.
mean?
Hello.
You know, keep things interesting around here.
So the industry was not it was not a shock for you to
It
start.
really
It's-
wasn't. It was
It's actually a little bit
honestly-
more tame than what you were doing before.
Exactly. Honestly, like I'm just hearing people talk to me was more regular than like people typing out the shit they want to do to me. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to
In
hear.
camming, I've never done camming. So do you type or do you talk? Is there a mic? Like,
It's
can you hear
more
people?
talking than anything. They do more of the typing. They do like you can do like private rooms and stuff like that. It depends on like the
So
situation.
it's not like they're talking to you on a mic. They're
No.
typing.
Yeah.
always,
No.
And then you talk back.
Exactly. Exactly. You just do what they say. You know what I mean? As long as they tip you.
So when I hired you, how come you didn't want to dance? I mean, you seem to kind of have that already repertoire about dancing.
Oh no, 100%. I've thought about it every day.
Really?
I walked in.
But when I met
100%.
you, I hired you to work the
Yes.
door.
A Monday
So-
day shift, right?
Yes, literally. And I remember my first training shift was a Saturday night, and I was like, this is fucking insane. Like, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do with this, but I've always thought about dancing. I just never. I don't know. I feel like I'm the skinniest girl in that club. Like literally, I feel like I'm the smallest girl in there. So I just don't know how I would do with like the whole. I can do pole tricks, but like the floor work. I don't know. I don't want to
You
go up
know
there and
how
look
to
like a
talk to
crackhead
people.
looking for a crack rock. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure I know what the fuck I'm doing before I get up there. Because like now that people know me, they're gonna be like, oh, that's the door girl up there. You know what I mean? So they're gonna pay attention, and I want to make sure I know what the fuck I'm doing. So that's why like I did try dancing. I went to like a really smaller club.
Oh, you did?
And
All right.
yes, it wasn't the cutest thing, but it was definitely a good starter club. You know what I mean? I mean, they have to buzz you in. So, I mean, it's quite the situation you get yourself into. The security is also the host and the manager and the bartender. So,
So it's like a strip club / pawn shop.
exactly.
somebody's
There's only
house?
so
It's
much
a brothel.
you can get into. It's really small, but
Slash
it was a
watch.
great starter place. You know what I mean? To like get the feel of like doing like the stage and like doing like the lap dances and like the one-on-one situation.
Well, how'd you do monetary
I
wise?
did all right. I did 3 dances and I made like $200. So I was like, all right, like I'll take it. I originally went in there as a customer to like support a friend. And then she had a client come in and he was like, a customer come in and he was like, hey, like if you put on an outfit, like I'll do some dances.
Like, I'm already ready.
So
and
you
I was
were
like, all right, say less.
So
Like
that
I'll
was
take it
hired.
off.
That was hired. Just like
I
hey,
mean, I
you.
didn't have to do any paperwork. I didn't have to do anything. I
you have
just
to
went
do
and took my clothes off and put on some 2-inch heels and called it a day.
Did you give them a cut or anything? Did they
No,
charge you?
absolutely nothing. I just walked out with some cash and called it a day. It was a great time.
So it's just a bar where the girls give a dance,
literally
really?
just
Like,
yeah.
You didn't go on
literally.
stage?
No, absolutely nothing. You just went straight into the private room, did some dances, and called it a night.
You know, everybody we talk to that does cam, they just don't do it very long.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
So, you know, it's one of those things where, people think it's easy. You're just in your house, but there's a lot more to it.
There really is. You have to have props. You have to have the right setting. You have to have the right
There's a
lighting.
lot
like,
going on.
There really is.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was doing it, I had to constantly be checking the internet, and I had to
You
call
think you
like
were gonna kill
Spectrum, and I'm like,
Right.
what am I doing? I just want to put stuff up my butt. I'm like, this is crazy.
wanna
I'm
get
on the
straight
phone
to
at
it.
Spectrum, like, what's my internet at?
And I would think you gotta be like in the mood. You can't just like
Exactly.
you know,
like,
like
you can't just go on cam like anytime. You know what I
No.
mean? You have to truly be like into
You got to
it,
be
you
really
know?
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
it's a
'Cause they're gonna
performance.
ask
Yeah, and you got to
some
talk to
crazy
every single
shit.
person. Their name will pop up, and you got to like interact with them. It's a lot. There's a lot
Yeah.
going on. A lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
At least in dancing, you can, step away from a situation.
Exactly. You
And
can
go
get your
into
break.
a different one. And
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, I'm here. fuck, you know.
It's always nice to have that like that one table that like you're comfortable at. You know what I mean? Like you can go like sit at and like just chill and like just have like a real regular conversation. Then like just truly be like, oh yeah, like that's so great. Like oh yeah, I love that you do that. Like you're just boosting them on the whole time.
And I think probably dancing, people still put a front versus in the camp, there's no front. You're just, you know,
You're just who you are.
And then you're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah.
So earlier we were talking to Jordan / Persia / new name coming next week. And she said, and I know you guys are all friends now. And I was like, and I know you guys are all outgoing people, but she's like, you guys are boring. She said, you guys don't go out. You don't do anything?
I'm not much of an outside body. I'm in the club literally like almost 6 days a week.
when you're there
so
every
it's
weekend,
like,
you have to behave
it's
yourself
hard to
on
get
your
me
days
out.
off.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, I guess
already
you live
outside.
out.
Exactly. I literally work going out and like partying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the idea of like on my day off, like going out to do that for free is crazy to me.
I feel like the
Where
night
I go,
shift is
are
like
you
the
kidding me?
nightlife. Like, why would I go out to a bar and
I'm
spend
not
money
getting
when I can
paid.
get paid to be at
go
work?
out.
Like,
Exactly.
maybe
There's
it's a
no
little
way.
misconstrued, but I
Doesn't
mean,
make
I'm
sense.
not.
I've always made the rule like after work, like if anyone wants to see me, it's $1,000 or less. Like, I'm not kidding.
You want to go to Waffle House? $1,000.
No, 100%. After 4 o'clock, are you kidding me? I know how horny you are. Okay, like I know what
I'm gonna be
level
fighting
you're
you
at.
off.
At this point, exactly. Go big or go home.
That makes sense.
There's
And
no
he's like,
other
all right,
exception.
why am I going home?
Exactly. Exactly.
So you're saying $1,000 is the rate?
100%. After work, are you kidding me? 4 o'clock in the morning, the birds are chirping, and you want me to dance for you? Yeah, 100%.
That's funny.
You're gonna pay $1,000.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, I don't really go out much in my personal life, but you know, because you're there with the music and everything like that. You
Exactly.
know, but we're not necessarily partying.
Yeah.
So,
We're working at the same time, but I feel like our job is
guys
at
are
the same
throwing
time
a
to
party, so
bring
you
the
have to-
party.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Like
are
we have to
burning
keep
that
that
energy.
energy to keep people going. Like, because if we don't bring that like excitement energy, everyone's just gonna be chill. Everyone's gonna be drinking $2 beers, and you know what I mean? Like it's just gonna be like no one's gonna throw money on stage. Like you have to bring that out of them in order to get things going.
So out of all of your night shift jobs you've had, including the camming and then all the multiple jobs you
Gang
have,
banging.
Gangbang.
yeah, which one's your
That's
favorite?
what I'm known for around
So which
here.
one's your favorite job?
That's what I'm known
Which
for
one's your
around here.
favorite? And which one paid the most?
She has never had a gangbang.
Not yet. Not
A
yet.
gangbang is like 5 or more.
Yes.
So you've had a gangbang?
Not yet.
Be for real.
Not yet. Oh, God.
No, I would say like there's a threesome, then there's an orgy. That's like 4 people.
Right.
A gangbang is like
It's
5
like 5
people.
or more.
Yeah.
100%.
Ain't no way you've had a gangbang. Please.
Not yet, girl.
Not yet. We're manifesting.
Gang bang anything past.
We
two.
are
So the last time
manifesting.
I was here, I was talking about how like the missed opportunity of getting spit roasted or Eiffel Tower.
Right.
And literally I left here, I went out, okay, and I like saw someone I knew. He's like, you're gonna have to come over and see my new place. And I was like, okay. And I went over and it was him and his roommate. And I was like sitting on the couch and I was like, oh my God, I manifested this. I'm like, this is an opportunity that cannot slip away. So yes, I got spit roasted.
Yes.
I
Yes.
manifested it here. So maybe tonight you're having
Tonight's my night, baby. You know,
Place
tonight's my
got magical powers in
I'll get
here.
it done tonight. You know, check off the
Spit
bucket
roasted
list.
and Eiffel Tower.
What's
You know.
spin roasted?
Spit roasted, it's like when
Never mind, never mind, I see
Tell
it.
us.
I see it.
Tell us.
it's
I didn't know that was a term.
or like Eiffel Tower, it's the same thing.
I know.
How do you do that?
Like someone, like some guy's fucking you, and then you know you're sucking a
sucking
dick, and then they're
someone's
like holding hands. It
There's
looks
like
like,
a lot
an
of
Eiffel Tower.
things going on at
Holding
once.
hands.
The guys, they don't have to hold
One-
hands.
the one-
They're there though.
What?
High five. They high five.
They have
High fiving. Yeah, they're high fiving.
Woo! We did it.
They're high fiving. Right.
Oui, Paris, Eiffel Tower.
So since January, right? You started in January when I
Yeah.
hired you, and I've seen a lot of coming out of a shell. I thought maybe I was wrong, but
100%.
The shell was already
Completely
open.
wrong.
Wait, for
read
sure.
read that interview wrong.
For sure. No, for sure. I feel like I was so quiet during my interview, and like honestly, before I started at the club, I didn't even own a dress. Like you would never catch me in heels. I was always in Jordans and sweatpants, and then like as soon as I started at the club, like it just brought up a new person out of me. Like I didn't realize I was such a girly girl until I started there. Honestly.
But I mean, I think in general you have a lot of fun.
100%, yeah.
You are
I
the
love
fun.
bringing the party
You are the
everywhere
fun,
I
yeah.
go. I try
You're a
to.
good
I
time.
try. I keep a smile on my face no matter how much money I'm making. You know what I mean? Like what's going on, how dead it is. Like I like to bring I like to bring some energy somewhere, get someone going. You know what I
definitely
mean?
do.
It only takes one guy.
Yeah.
Or
It does. It really only takes one person. You know what I mean? You never.
So that's
know.
probably why you don't go out. It's because you're like so high energy. Then
Exactly.
At some point, you gotta recharge.
It's tiring.
Right?
Like I need to sleep on my days off. If I don't sleep, like I'm not gonna have energy at
You're a
work
bit like
at
this.
all. Exactly. I'm gonna be a dead person.
So you never
I can't
answered my
imagine.
question because we were laughing and talking. So out of all of the jobs, which one was your favorite, or which one is your favorite?
So I mean, I definitely will make more money serving as it is. I think it's a good time because like I love like bringing people up in private rooms and like bringing the crazy out of them. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, if I have a VIP room upstairs, someone's taking their shirt off. You know what I mean? Like I like to have
You're
a
like,
good time.
it might be me.
I try to convince it might be.
Woo!
I try to convince people to like. I'm like, you should get on stage and like I'll spend all
Oh,
my
you like
money
to
on you.
She's
Yeah,
an
too.
instigator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
for
really
sure.
am. It's really bad, honestly,
You do
but.
it like for shits, like you like for your own fun.
It really is for my own
Is
fun.
that person gonna say
So
yes?
like
And wow.
when I'm bored, like one of my friends, like she told me she did this once, and I was like, that's the funniest thing ever. And I do it all the time now. Like if it's dead and I have nothing going on, I will go out to the patio while guys are like out there smoking cigarettes or cigars, and I'm like, what are you doing? You can't smoke out here. And I'll make them like put it all out, and they're all like freaking out, like, what do you mean I can't smoke out here? And I'm like, I'm just fucking with you, and I'll just walk away. And I'm just like, never mind, like you have a good night. You
She
know what I
goes
mean?
out there like
Just to
security.
fuck with them, like just to keep shit
I got a
going. You know what I
cigarette,
mean?
you know?
Those are what all those
Exactly.
full cigarettes on the
They're like,
patio
that
are.
fucking bitch. Like she made me put my shit out and crush it. You know what I mean? It's,
That's
it's
funny.
a
That
good
is
time.
funny.
That's a good approach, I think. Yeah.
I like to keep things exciting. You
So
know what I mean?
servers, you feel that it's your best? You like that?
100%.
Well, money wise is your best, but is that the one you have the most fun at too?
I don't know. I feel like I have really fun in the front because like I try to get people like going as soon as they walk in. You know what I mean? Like, are we partying tonight? Are we just hanging out? Like, what's the vibes? You know what I mean? Like, I always try to get them going. Like shots. Like we're doing shots. Like bring me one. You know what I mean? Like just as jokes and stuff. I try to get them going because I feel like they're always shy coming in. You know what I mean? Like they don't know what they're getting themselves into. They're kind of
Yeah, they're kind of
nervous.
timid. You're like, take your hat
Exactly.
off.
Like, they
They're
walk in and like they
fuck.
don't even walk up to the counter. They're like, what do I do? Like, what's next? You know. So I always try to like bring it out of them. I'm like, all right, let's get going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're
I've
gonna have a
always
good
said that
time.
That's an interesting space because people don't come in. You know, it's not the norm.
Right.
You know, so you're
Right.
gonna meet women you never
Exactly.
met before, and you know, so people are.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of
In your
pretty
personal
girls.
space.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you-
Exactly.
And you got to pay them a bunch of money.
Do you prank jokes at the front door too? Do you?
I try as much as I can. I mean, like, I always, like, try to tell everyone as soon as they went, I'm like, behave in there or I'll come drag you out. And, like, stupid shit like that. And always gets, like, a laugh out of it. But, like, I try to be as subtle as possible because sometimes, like, some guys, like, they're just not into it. Like, they're just, like, in there for, like, what they're in there for. And, like, they don't care to, like, talk to anyone else. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, tough crowd. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Like,
So what about you and you, Jordan's in the room, you guys have in common? How did you guys click as friends?
I don't know how we kind of came to fruition, but I'm so glad I met Alyssa.
I
She's like
swear.
super young, but I never like if you told me I was gonna be hanging out with a 20-year-old, I'd be like, yeah, okay, okay. But I really,
30?
yeah, I like them old. No, but I really, you got a good energy, and you
Yes.
like,
this is my girl. Like I feel like I make a lot more money whenever Madison's around. Honestly,
yeah.
we just
She'll
keep each
text me.
other
She's
going.
like, pimp me out. And I'm
We
like,
bounce off
okay.
each other like 100%. Like whenever we do shots and stuff like that, like whether she's doing it or I'm doing it, we're
Yeah.
always gonna help each other out. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna come up to her and like buy me a shot.
Yeah, we'll
you know
go up
what
to
I
a table
mean?
and I'm like, are you gonna deep throat this out of her tits? And they're
Right.
like, oh my god,
Like, do you
Like,
want
what
to watch
is
us
going
make
on?
out? Like stupid
What
shit
is
like
going
that.
on?
You know what I mean? We always make money off of each other.
That's the money
100%.
side. Now, do you guys party together outside of work too?
Not really party,
Party,
but
not
we
really.
did go
Maybe,
to
like-
original Pancake
Exactly.
House the other day.
Brunch
We got
vibe.
pigs in a blanket and like drink
Yeah.
orange
So it's
juice.
all work.
Yeah.
It's all work party.
It really
Yeah,
is.
I mean, I
It
don't really
is.
party in my free time anymore. And you
I-
don't either,
yeah,
so
no.
we do normal
I
people
tell
things.
everyone I'm the life of the party.
She's like,
in
can we go to
work, but-
Crowder's and hike them out? And I was like,
Exactly.
yeah, girl, let's do that.
Yeah, like let's go see some flowers or something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I need something else
Touch
going on.
touch
in my life.
grass. Yeah.
Right. You know, sit on a rock or something. Get in tune with Earth.
Have a gangbang. I don't know.
Keep things
Oh yeah, anything you guys want to manifest? I mean, you already.
I mean, I would
manifested your
totally
last
have a
one.
gangbang with you. I got you.
100%.
I'll
I'm
hold your
down
legs
for it.
back.
Anything.
Get in
for
there.
you. 100%. We do stupid shit all the time in the club, like just to catch people's attention. Like I'll walk up to her while she's putting in an order and like spread her legs open and act like I'm going
Yeah, she'll
down
come
in
over
on
and try
her.
to put her
I'll
finger
come
up my
to her and, like,
butthole.
put her finger up my
Yeah.
ass and like let people like watch and stuff just to get people.
I think we're probably gonna sleep together at some point.
Eventually, it's coming, 100%. Like,
Now, didn't you recently start a hobby of photography, Madison?
Yes, I just started doing boudoir photography. I've always like had pictures taken of myself.
Yes.
So I
Where
was
can
like,
people find you?
yeah, it's Instagram, Madison Taylor Boudoir.
Cracking
Hello.
yourself up.
But I was like, maybe if I step behind the camera, like that would be, fitting. I already know how to pose and I already know
Yes.
everything about all that shit. So I went to Austin and learned how to do boudoir photography. There's a whole art behind it, and yeah, just
now you
pick
have
that
like
up.
a strip club archive, you know what I mean?
There's,
Like, she
I got a whole
takes so
strip
many
club in my
pictures of the
apartment. There's a
club.
lot going on. So I'll take pictures at the club on my film camera, and then I got this bougie camera to take.
Yes.
But I already have some shoots booked. I just
got,
need to
like,
get the girls to come over. And,
Pictures of guys bent over and girls on top of them.
yeah,
and,
no,
like,
I was
a
just
lot
walking
going
by,
on.
and then the girl was like, "Take a picture." I was like, "Go get my camera." But yeah. It's like a little hobby, maybe turn into a passion career. We'll see.
You never know what
But
happens.
it's exciting.
So are you finding clients at work?
Yeah. All the girls want me to take pictures of them.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't figure out the lighting in my own apartment. And I'm like, I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm Googling it. I was like, I know how to do everything else. There's no fucking way I can't figure this out. So just maybe a little trial and error.
crossed.
I need someone to come over, get naked, and be like, sit. Let me see you later.
I'll be there. I'll be there, girl.
So you obviously feel like you were made for the club, and we'll have to drag you out of there someday.
Yeah.
Do you not feel like she's the same?
I see a lot of myself in her. No, I really do. I think that's why we hit it off. Like
Yeah.
like
She
the
tells
best
me
parts
all the
of
time.
me.
I'm like younger her. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
She's just got it. You know what I mean? I feel like certain things can be taught about working at a club, the night shift,
Yes,
everything, but some
yes.
of it you've got it within yourself. And I think she does. She's definitely a hustler.
It's in me.
No, you're like such a hustler. I see her at work and I'm like, I'm so proud. Like, she's so cute.
I do love working. I think it's a problem, low key. I mean, I spend all of
How
my time in
addicted
the strip club,
are
but I mean,
you to
it's
it?
a great time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I make money out of it. So you can't
Do you
complain.
save all your money? Are you good with it?
It's hit or miss, to be honest.
Other than Jordan's, what are you spending it on? I mean,
Okay, well, these were like $350.
Well, you support yourself. So you totally take
But
care
I
of
do
yourself.
support myself. That's what I'm saying. Like, I
So.
mean, like, from being a 20-year-old and, like, supporting the bills that I do support and, like, the clothes that I wear and the shoes that I wear, you know what I mean? I feel
Take
like
care
I'm
of your
doing very
family
well.
a little bit too. Yeah.
100%, yes. I mean, I send my family money every month. You know
now,
what I mean,
did
to
you
make sure
think?
they're taken
Did
care of.
you? At what point did you see yourself working in a strip club? Did you think you wanted to do this, or did you want to do something else? Did you have dreams before? I mean, you're pretty young, so.
So my mom was a stripper, and
Oh.
so it definitely does run in the family. I was always like into stuff like that. Like even before I started in the club, like I had friends who worked in the club, so they would introduce me to customers, and like I would go over to their houses and like entertain them and stuff like that. So like really like coming into the club, I feel like it was like a lot easier for me because I already had like somewhat of experience of like just trying to keep up with conversation and whatever the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean? Acting like I'm interested. But I mean, at the same time, it definitely is a different experience, like being there like firsthand. You know what I mean? Like having someone sit there and like whisper in your ear how hard and long they want to fuck you is like a really
Wow.
It's a different experience. You
Yeah,
know what
for
I
sure.
mean? Than it is like someone typing it and like you just reading it and choosing whether you want to read it or
I mean,
not.
that
you
would
know?
be a little like, put you off a little.
But that's what I was
100%.
saying before. It
Yeah.
kind of just messes with your energy a little
Yeah, I
bit.
mean,
Like
it's
you
wow,
hot.
what the fuck?
That's-
Yeah,
Relax.
you're like,
Yes,
you're like, you just owe $10 to get in,
Right.
man. I mean,
I just need $15 for
Whoa.
your shot. Okay?
have a good night, Johnny. Like, Jesus Christ.
That's what I've always tried to say, like, with, like, dancers, it's, like, it's different with them because it's more of, like, a touchy-feely thing, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, they'll get, like, swiped, like, you know what I
Do
mean?
you think that's
like,
what your hesitation about dancing is? Is that like,
Not even. My hesitation with dancing is, like, I'm literally the skinniest girl in there, you know what I mean? And, like, I don't know how I'm going to look up there,
everyone's
to
got
be
different
honest.
flavors?
100%. And, like, I've had a lot of customers tell me, like, yo, like, I'm into, like, thick girls, but, like, I would have spent money on you all night. And, like, but at the same time, it's, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like...
The thing with dancing, though, is that there is a honeymoon, right?
Right.
So you're the new, or
Yeah.
you work
you
the
would
door,
kill it, please.
or this and that. And
Yes.
then, you know, and then after, now you're sitting at the bar waiting.
Exactly. So, like,
So
the
whereas you
first
have
month, it'll be fun, and, like, the
you
second month,
would
it's like,
kill it.
okay, like...
Don't do it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that doesn't mean that you're not going to always make money, but, you know, there is a
100%.
period where now you're like, oh, shit, this is what I do. And there's no
Exactly.
going backwards, right? So,
Exactly.
and if you're making a bunch of money doing what you do, what's the point?
Then why
Yeah.
not keep that? Exactly. Like, I feel like it's more it's more of an investment to continue as a server and just keep those customers coming in for me than it would be like to get off what of them, like what I can for one night.
People
you know
want what
I
they
mean?
can
That's it.
have.
After
So
that
the
one night,
second your
it's
tits
That
are
one
out,
night, and
like,
they never want to come back for you because they feel like they got robbed. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person.
That's funny.
well, and they want what they can't have. So the second like your tits are out of that fucking bra, like get the
It's a great
whole.
time.
Oh, I would take you upstairs and spend $4,000. Would you?
Would you?
Then it's
Would
like,
you ask them?
I'll do 20
The
minutes.
whole, literally, the whole demeanor would change. So it's like a novelty. Like
Exactly.
they want what they can't have.
Like all these guys tell me like, oh yeah, like, when you become a dancer, I'll take you upstairs. But it's like you'll take me upstairs one time.
right, you
know
won't
what I
even
mean?
buy my
Like, I'm not gonna
$20
get
shot
that
right
again.
now, so I don't believe you.
What's it gonna be worth?
Whereas you can
know
take
what
them
I mean?
upstairs all the time. with a
Exactly,
different-
as a server, and then just like continue to take care of them. You know what I mean?
and they just continue to give you
And
money.
then
It's worth
the
it.
fantasy can even continue to grow because time passes, and then
they just want to see what's
You're
under there
40.
and what you
You're
got going
40 at
on.
the club, okay? And they're still like, when can I get my dance?
I mean,
What
you
can
know,
I do?
we,
How much do I have to pay?
I mean, we got some girls at the club that are in their 50s, you know, so.
Exactly.
the way technology and shit is, like in Botox, we could look young forever.
100%.
I'll
Is
never
there anything
leave.
else you wanted to do, or this is what you wanted?
So like my favorite thing ever as a child was the Pussycat Dolls. Like I learned like their full routine like as a child. Like I always knew that I was gonna be like somewhat of a dancer. You know what I mean? I did competitive dance.
So
I
you've
did
realized
cheerleading.
your dream.
Like yes, 100%. Like I truly came to my calling. Like for now at least. I mean, before I started working at the club, I was doing demolition.
Wow.
So I was in a hard hat and vest and gloves and like steel boots.
How much did that
and
pay?
stuff all the time. The pay was okay. Like it was full benefits. So that's why I really like I was into it. I got to start like my 401k, you know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, like this is a good big girl job. But then like I had always served and I was used to fast money, you know what I mean? So like once I was getting like those weekly checks and it was like $500-600, I was like, I can make this in one night.
Like,
you
fuck
know
this
what
hard
I mean?
hat.
Like I'm young, I'm hot, I might as well use it now to my advantage rather than like when I'm like 35, 40 years old and I'm like starting to get wrinkles on my face and I'm like, all right, cool, like let's go ahead and settle down. You know what I mean? So my mom's fiance, he has a demolition company. He always tells me like to come back whenever I'm ready, but like
You're like,
he's
I won't
got
be
some
ready.
time to wait.
Okay,
He's
so
got
with a
some time to wait.
demolition company, like I don't know anything about that. Like, what do you do? Are you pressing the button for the building to go
So,
explode, or are you just going
I
in there with a
was-
sledgehammer? And you going with a sledgehammer, like
So the
breaking down
first-
walls?
She's like, I'm the skinniest girl at the
It's a
club,
little-
but you should see
I
me in
know,
the
like, with a
demolition.
sledge-
Hit me
with a
with a
sledgehammer.
hammer. 100%. I'll get shit knocked down. So like the first job I went to, it was like I was just doing a walkthrough, just trying to get the feel of it. And I knocked down like a wall, and I was like, all right, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like I can let off some steam and get paid for it. Like, are you kidding me? But then like after that, they were like, okay, like I want you to be like the woman of the business. I want you to do the paperwork. So I was just constantly like making like sheets and like stuff for guys to fill out, and like
That's
I mean,
boring.
dealing with grown men, you know what I mean? Like, it's only so far you can get them, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't get any of them to cooperate for shit. Like, I was the youngest person there. They're like, who is this young bitch? You know what I mean? Telling me what the fuck to do. So, like, I didn't get much far in it, honestly. So I was just like, I'm going to leave this where it's at and then go figure something else out, honestly.
Awesome.
Yeah, it didn't take me too far.
Happens.
I did some like walkthroughs. They sent me through all the walkthroughs because they knew that like the general contractor seemed like a hot girl, like writing notes. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, we want her to do our job. So like, I would go through the jobs and I would bring a notebook with me and write down like a bunch of bullshit that like I had no idea what I was talking about. And like walls are white. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
my
I had no
God.
idea what I was talking about. But like I would write down all this shit and then like I would ask like other questions that I heard other people ask and ask like I knew what I was talking about, and that's how we would get the job. So like they used me to their advantage 100%.
You're just really good at sales. You could do it.
I do what I
Yeah.
can.
You can sell water
know
to a
what I mean?
goldfish.
Exactly.
She's good. She's good.
I know you had some questions you were preparing. Did we already go through those, or?
There's so many. Where could I possibly start?
Well, I just wonder if you have, if you wonder, like,
Right.
because you're new and, we've been in this for 15 plus
Right, like I
years,
haven't
right?
even
So-
been here in a year, so like I
Right.
can't even imagine like the shit you guys seen, honestly, to be honest. So like with like your relationships, like I mean, like did you guys go into the business like single and like you built a relationship out of it, or like was it like you were just like I'm in here for the girls, or like what was it?
Me personally,
Just the money?
No, me personally. I mean, I talked about it in the last podcast. It was, it was a job. It was just
Yeah.
my best friend was working there. My other best friend was also working there, and the it's economy proof. Like we were in a recession, but the clubs, people still gonna go see girls. So whenever this, the job that I had wasn't making money, they were killing it. So it was the next move. With my personal relationship, it was someone that was in the industry in the past, and we got in a relationship, and obviously we couldn't work together, so she does her own thing, and so that's basically how I got in my relationship. And
was it like different, like meeting someone in the club and like going forward with them than it would be like meeting? Because I know like some people are like, if I meet a girl in the club, like I don't know how far I want to take it with them. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me personally, I'm working there. Like all the girls that I met were at the club.
Yeah.
I didn't really meet girls outside of the club. And on my days off, my friends were somewhat related to the club in some sense. So everybody was from the club. So I knew that whoever I met,
it was gonna be
through that. My days off don't allow me to hang out with my outside of the club friends because they got regular
Well,
jobs.
that's interesting that like your relationship turned from like a club relationship into something like
serious,
very serious. You just got engaged, so.
Well, I mean, I've always been a pretty serious guy.
Yeah,
in that
but
sense,
it's not just like strip club girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the idea of like meeting like the love of your life in the club is like it's like a
That's
one in
awesome.
a chance.
That's awesome.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Like,
mean,
it's
I don't-
not
I don't
very
agree.
common thing.
because you're a product of your environment to some extent,
100%.
right? So if you spend time with people in a particular setting, then that's who you're gonna be around.
Yeah, and especially if you work a lot, I feel like if you're around them a lot.
And
you know what I mean?
there's all kinds of people in that place. There might be some misconceptions or some true stereotypes as well, just like there is anywhere. I mean, people are people, whether they're at the hospital or at the bank or at the strip club. It is the same shit. So obviously different inhibitions and things like that. I mean, it takes a different type of person to do a different type of job. But ultimately, if that's your environment, then you're gonna probably find your person in the middle of all that stuff.
yeah.
I think it's pretty common. Most people meet their significant others at work.
Yeah.
So you'd be with a demolition guy if you were still in the demolition guy.
Imagine.
Both you guys wearing hard
hats and blowing shit up.
covered in dirt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I mean, it is
so hot.
what it is. Because I always, this is like my little phrase. I always say, people are just people. It just depends on where you're at, but we're just people. You could be living in all kinds of different parts of the world, and you're just gonna be around the people that you're with, and you'll find the person that matches you. I guess.
And even if you met in that environment, it doesn't make it easier. It is a tough environment because there's beautiful women.
I mean, like if your girl's working there, like you have to watch her, like like go back and forth between like different people and like.
Oh no, I
entertain
couldn't do
people.
that.
Like that, like I can't imagine. Like
I couldn't do that.
I
No,
really
no.
can't. Like I mean, I know someone in there, and like she talks to this guy like really heavily, and like he tells me all the time, like watching her go back and forth, like it's hard for him sometimes. You know what I mean? Like bouncing between laugh and laugh, and like
hell
trying to
no.
entertain people. Like I
Not for
can't
me.
imagine.
I mean,
like,
I've hung out with different dancers, but I've never dated anyone serious.
Well, then where do you draw the line? Like, if you guys have, you don't want to see the woman you're in love with, like, give a lap dance or give a drink to someone else,
Right.
but you guys work.
But
at
you
it.
work
You're
with them,
managing
right.
naked women all day. So, like, where do you know what I mean? Like, how is that? I guess fair
Oh well, I mean, how I did it was my interactions are all professional.
or right?
There's, like,
but
I'm not-
are there's not?
You're working more on like the flirtation, and you're working an angle on a guy, right?
Yeah.
You're not just be like, here's your Johnny
Here's your
Walker,
foresight, yeah,
right?
I
You're
know.
not,
I got you.
Yeah.
You're working an angle, and and then so for me, I mean, I'm not, just me personally. Other guys might not be jealous. I mean, I'm a jealous guy, so for me, like
It's just
I
about
knew
work for
I
you.
knew what would work
Probably
and what
jealous.
wouldn't work. Like,
Yeah.
so,
yes.
yeah. So
Okay.
What
so
about
like,
you?
I never got my feelings involved,
Never. Huh.
so I always kept it at that.
Gotcha.
What it was.
Kept it very business casual.
Kept it G.
Any moment,
Yes.
any moment, the emotions would get involved. It'd just be like, it's best to
Just cut it short.
Yeah.
type of
because
situation.
because obviously at some point people want more than just
It can
hooking up
always
and
get
hanging out.
messy. Yeah, it can
So,
always get messy.
When
yeah.
it got to that point, it's like,
Yeah.
you do this, and unfortunately, I'm I can't deal with it, and you know, and we can, if you're gonna leave that, then we can look at it. But you know, I mean, you can't.
What if they had asked you to leave? Was that like you would never leave your job for like a significant other?
I mean, like, I feel like for a dancer, because like dancers are like come and go so often, you know what I mean? Like, it's like his position, like it'd be hard to be like say goodbye.
I feel the same. I would never.
Position, you know what I mean?
Like I can't just go to the next one.
I mean, as a door girl, like I see like 10 dancers come in every day and put in an application. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine like dancers.
I mean, but like if I was dating someone, they were like, "I don't like that you work at a club," I'd be like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you."
You're
are you gonna pay my rent?
So,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a tough place to be. You can't ask somebody to. I would never, you know, but you know. You have certain boundaries in your life. So, you know, my boundaries, I would not be in a serious relationship with a dancer just because I couldn't. I mean, first of all, we're in the same space.
Exactly.
So how could
all
I,
of the
you
time.
know,
watching it.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, it is a fantasy, but real shit's happening. You know? So, you know, for me, I just couldn't do that on a serious note. So,
that's fair.
And I've gotten to that space. You know, obviously I date somebody seriously now, but when I was single, you know, once it got to that point, it's like, you know, it was always just kind of, you know, hooking up and hanging out and having fun.
So, like, during COVID, like, what was it like in the club, like, during COVID? Like, everyone's wearing, like, masks, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's keeping 6 feet apart. Like, I can't imagine, like, did you do dances? Like, were dances a thing?
6 feet away.
COVID?
Well, there was
no way you're giving a dance 6 feet away.
Right?
An air
I'm
dance.
trying to remember, right? I mean, the weirdest.
That time seems so weird.
I think the weirdest thing was when, you know.
What do they call that when it's a spreading event? What do they call that? No. When it's like
spread? It was mass
yeah, something like that. What do they call it?
Can't remember.
You know, but we literally worked in a mass spreading environment.
Yeah.
It's a petri dish there. Like,
you can't see anyone's face. It's all like,
so to give you a little insight, you know, the weirdest things for me were like, you could open. I think we would open at like 3 p.m. and close at 10.
Weird.
Right?
10 p.m.
Yeah. So it was just
early.
me and him at that point. Whenever we did that. And then at one point, the law changed to you could only serve alcohol outside. But they didn't change that law until the wintertime.
Like outside in the patio outside?
Right. So in the summer, we were still able to serve alcohol inside as long as people had food. So we would like give them French fries. And
then get them a drink.
And then they could get drinks, right? But we had our
dumbest shit, dude. Like,
had
they had no idea what they were doing.
We
so
had our
ridiculous.
tables like socially distanced and all that,
God.
whatever. And you know, it would be days that like no one would come in. I would feel like you know, like a couple of people would come in. And then I remember like wintertime. I think it was like in November. They came in and they were like, you can only sell alcohol outside now. So we literally had to tell our customers like to go outside in the cold.
Oh God,
Right?
That's fucking crazy.
But then we had a
so
customer.
fucked up.
We had a customer. She's like, "Fuck it," and then you know our sound system outside is not that good, so she brought her own boombox, and they threw their own party, throwing thousands of ones around the fire pit. You know, like
Hey,
it was
make it
great.
happen.
I mean, it was.
They do, you know.
You know, I think the girls had to wear masks for a while. And then, you know, that started getting relaxed. So, like, the dancers would have to wear masks on stage.
I mean,
because
I
they
can't
were
imagine
getting,
the breathing.
Well,
they
you
were
guys
getting
that,
in the
like,
distance. Yeah.
You know how, like, in the
crazy.
Prohibition era, like, the only things that survived was, like, alcohol underground and, like, brothels.
Right.
It's kind of like that. Like, I feel like strip clubs and alcohol will survive, like, anything that's thrown
It's
at
the
us.
oldest profession in the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, of course they were having the strip club open
They
during
got
COVID.
to. I mean, people probably were going crazy without it.
Yeah.
You know, like, but it was definitely it's fun now looking back to just say that it was stupid. But to say we lived through that, I mean, it was some interesting adapting shit that we were doing. You know, like how do we make money?
Yeah. Did you guys require like all of the like customers to come in with masks too?
Whatever mandates were put on.
We provided masks at the front door.
Masks and gloves and
the staff. At some point, all the staff would wear gloves.
Okay, I saw like a fingerprint. So like I saw, I guess like the girls had to like fingerprint in.
That was
before.
that was not COVID related.
Okay,
That was
okay.
like,
I was just curious.
I remember we all
who's
like it was right
scamming?
before we moved. We all looked like Michael Jackson walking around with white gloves, like cleaning tables with masks. I was like, this is fucking nuts.
It was so strange.
It was so like it doesn't feel right, but it was
different time in life.
yeah.
It almost feels unreal, but I mean, we did all the mandates that we had to do in order to stay business. I mean, the authorities would come in and check that we were following those steps too, and it was pretty weird. And then every month it was a different mandate, and you know, we do have a restaurant in our space, so you know, we operated on the restaurant rules, but then they say we couldn't because we for a strip. You know, it was pretty weird. You know, so we tried to do the best we could, but and then people were scared too. You know, and our customers, you know, they were, you know, they're not teens. You know, so they're older, and a lot of their, you know, there was higher risks for those people. So it was an interesting space, and it's changed too. You know, I mean, the business has changed a little bit, like during the day and things like that, and. You know, a lot of people work from home and stuff like that.
It's gotten busier during day shifts, honestly. Like
I used to be way busier before.
Really? Like the last Monday I worked, we had like 15 dancers, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Well, when
you know what I mean?
used to work there, we had a buffet on Wednesdays, and it was packed out. Like I used to waitress on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays?
Yes, we had like 100 food buffet. It was nuts, but yeah, it's not.
So things like that, you can't do those things anymore. I mean, you still can, but you know, a lot more people are working from home and things like that. So, you know, it's definitely changed some aspects of it. But I think in the long run, what we do is, you know, you can't compete with in-person fun, right? Because, you know, now it's all social media and people are losing their social skills and things like that. You know, and you know, there's studies where people aren't dating as much as they used to and things like that. There's just so much peer pressure to be this person that is portrayed in a social space, you know, and so our space would probably at some point be the only space where you can actually see a real person.
Well, one of my friends like still cams, and she was telling me that like there's AIs like on like a Streammates or Chatterbait or one of the sites you use, and people choose to like talk. They know they're not real. Like choose to talk to like an AI character, and it could be like a guy on a green screen, but that's what they want. So I'm like, I think we're getting further and further away from like human interaction.
Well, the issue is,
and they want to talk to like
the issue with AI is that so the AI can pick exactly who you are. You tell them the prompts of who you are, what you want, all that shit, and it literally is catered to you. Right. So you hear all the things that you want to hear that normally you wouldn't hear from another human being that doesn't know you. So it's literally a perfect fit.
The guy would get the bird.
I mean, imagine what that does to your brain.
That's what I'm saying. It's very like disconnected.
You always hear the same shit.
It all started with Siri.
But like they're able to, they'll be able to have the fake person that will know exactly how to manipulate your brain because it knows exactly what you want.
What to say,
what's
what
that
you
movie?
want to hear.
Then how do they in turn use that to get your money?
No, not only that, but they can fucking get your information and shit like that, and then now you're, you know, and they can, you know, you can. What is that called when they become? Some guys like to be financially controlled.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Financial domination.
Yeah, some shit like that. So you could have an AI be
like, here's my account and routing number.
Well, thank you guys for coming in. We got to wrap it up. This was episode
22.
22. You guys got to stay tuned. We got a lot more
Subscribe.
to come. Make sure you follow us. Follow us on Instagram.
You know.
You guys want to plug your Instagrams, your TikToks? We should have done this live on your TikTok. Don't you have
we should have. I thought about going live on my TikTok to be honest while I was doing
Next time.
We're gonna have you back just so you can do that.
I'll be back.
And thanks guys. See you next time.
Yes. Thank you. Beautiful.
All right.
God,
thanks, guys.
I got a piece so bad.
I swear to God, I've been holding it forever. Like, I'm in pain.